we'll change that. All right, so we all know why we're here today. No? Right, well, we're here to do some training. So your employer, Renovation 123, has requested that you all come in and do some training for your jobs. And so in a moment, we will get into a bit of an icebreaker. We'll get to know each other this morning, and hopefully we can fly through this training quite quickly, and everyone will enjoy themselves. Happy with that? Any questions? Yeah. So my name's Jade. I will be your trainer today. We'll go around the room and introduce ourselves. So as I say, my name's Jade. I've been doing this for just over a year. I have had experience both in Perth and on the mines on a FIFO basis. So as I say, we'll go around the room and introduce ourselves. So we'll start with you.
Hi, my name is Nixon, and I recently started working as a duty team leader. In the past, I worked as a team leader for a local construction company, and it's a very similar team apart than the main difference in the operations, so trying to get the hang of it. I'm surprised that the other team leader actually didn't have any training, so I've done training before, completed my certificates in carpentry, and hold my construction training card. But I want to be part in the training, as I feel I will help my position to get it a little bit over and improve my skills.
Cool. Welcome. Max?
Hi, my name's Jake. I recently moved from overseas. My English is not that good.
That's okay.
I've done my general construction card before undertaking employment. I can read and write English, but not so good.
That's okay.
My vocabulary is pretty limited. I'd really like help with this. So if I ask questions, please help me out.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. We can definitely do that. So no stress. We'll not be rushing today. We'll go through everything as slow as we need to make sure that everybody understands what we're doing today. Okay, all good. Hi.
Hi, I'm Brandon. I recently started working for a renovation company. It's my first week. I've been looking for employment in this field for some time. I've never worked in the industry, although I recently did my general construction training and got the card before starting employment. I've been unemployed for about a year now before I started working at the local supermarket. I'm more of a people person and do sometimes get into trouble from team leaders about being too social, especially when the customers are my followers. And I'm told I need to listen more.
Okay. Well, that's good. We'll see if we can work on that today. Okay, welcome. How's yourself?
I'm Carson. I've been out of the industry for a while. Some crap went down in my life. Decided to come back and got told to be in this course.
Okay, cool. Thank you, everyone. As I say, we'll get to know each other a little more. We'll move into a bit of an icebreaker, and then hopefully get to know each other a little better before we move into the main body of today's training. Is that okay? Does anyone have any questions? No? All good? Perfect. Okay, now we're going to move into this icebreaker. Can everybody see this screen okay? Yeah, no issues? Alright, so we're going to do an icebreaker. It is a mystery fun fact game. So the rules are everybody's going to write down a weird or funny fact about yourself, something unusual, a strange talent, an odd experience, a quirky habit, can be literally anything. Somewhat PG, we'll try it for. Look, write whatever you want to write. We're then going to scrumple them up into a ball, and then I'll pick them out, or you guys can pick them out, and you're going to read, and we're going to try and go around the room, and we're going to try and guess whose fact belongs to who. Does that make sense? Alright, let me get you guys some paper. Carson? three fun facts.
It's true.
Jake, are you okay? Yeah, let me know if it makes sense. Okay. Just write something down. Don't write an essay, but let's just, like I said, it could just be something hilarious, something strange. Anybody's done this, pass it over to me. I will read them aloud and we can guess who belongs to who. Thank you. Still thinking, Carlson? Too many to choose from. Too many quirky, interesting facts.
Oh, I got a lot that I don't really want people to know about.
Why is that?
I don't think people would like to know what
That's okay. No judgment in this classroom. A good thing. Anyway, while Carson's having a good think there, how has everybody's morning been?
Great.
A little
Good.
cold in the
Cold?
morning, yeah.
Yeah. How is the traffic on the way in this morning?
Shit, very busy.
Good.
Good? Good?
A lot of animals, yes.
Yeah? Everybody find parking okay?
Good.
Good. Sometimes a bit of a mission trying to find parking in this area. I
Definitely.
think we're going to have to get some additional parking bays.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How long have you been teaching?
I have been teaching for about a year now.
Here. Wow.
Yeah. So tell me, other than what you've told me already, why is everybody here on this course today? Progression, career development.
I just want to do better with my team, I guess.
Yeah?
Have them know that I can support them if they need,
Yeah.
and have a
Good.
little background on this.
Cool. Yeah. Everybody
I
wants to
look, I know
progress.
everything and I was told I had to be here anyway.
Okay. Well, that's okay. Like I said, hopefully we can change that mindset today, Carson. Mm.
Yeah. Still can't think of anything.
Have a think about, I don't know, something that would surprise someone. It doesn't even need to be a big statement. Just something, could even be a funny story.
Frank.
Yeah.
No, I haven't got any of those.
Or just something, a fact about yourself. Can I help you at all? Oh, I'm just trying to sit down. How's the temperature in the room? Get hot?
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, we're good. No one's started in here. Could be something work related, something in your personal life, travel story.
Don't travel much.
Spend too much time at work, eh?
So how is it working in your field of teaching?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Get a lot of new faces every day. It's very social. Get to meet a lot of new people. hear a lot of different stories, different encounters, get to learn about people's employers,
Who was your most difficult student?
whatever
Yeah.
in history.
There's always one you
There's
remember.
been, yeah, there have been a few for sure. No names, obviously.
Obviously.
But yeah, we have had a few. I remember one time there we had a student that I'm not sure, I can't remember, it wasn't myself training them, but it was one of my colleagues, and they had caused a bit of a scene in the classroom. I think they felt that they didn't have the correct support available. Kicked up a bit of a fuss, and they actually got removed from the class for getting aggressive with one of the trainers. And a couple of days later, when it was the last day of the course, they actually turned up with a cake.
What?
Yeah, they just turned up to the class for the last day, because we usually do a bit of a get together on the last day to celebrate course completion, and we have a bit of a picnic, if you say. And yeah, they just turned up with a cake. We have to call security, and yeah,
It
so
comes today.
interesting one.
Did you keep the cake?
We did.
Okay.
We did keep the cake. Yeah. Right.
Awesome, it's a cake.
You don't want my cake.
Where are you from?
Kazakhstan.
Huh?
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. Borat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Cool. Jake, how long have you been in Australia? How long have you been in Australia? When did you come here? When did you leave Kazakhstan?
1 year.
1 year? Very good. You like? Yeah. Good. Good. All right. Icebreaker. So far, so good, guys. We're getting that. We're making progress. Alrighty. Thank you very much. All right. I'm going to read these out. Obviously, if it is yours, poker face. And we're going to try to guess what
Like
this
these
belongs to. No poking faces. All right. Let's start with this one. All right. Okay, so I have broken 13 bones in my body. Who do we think this belongs to?
I'm down for the fella who can't talk English.
Right, Carson. Be mindful of people around you and just need to have respect. Okay? Thank you. Not here to discriminate.
No.
No. All good.
I'm thinking it's Brandon.
Brandon? What about you, Jake? Yeah?
Yeah, what they said.
Hey, what are you doing?
Alright, Brandon. Is this your facts?
Yeah.
It is? Wow. 13 bones in your body. Not all at one time, I hope.
No, sadly not.
Is that no?
Want to go for 4
Right. Cool. Love that. Moving on to the next step. Alright. I was once chased up a tree by a leopard on a hunt expedition.
I was going to say Brandon, but he's already answered it.
Carson.
No, not like that. Sounds good though. No.
That sounds good.
Oh, that would be you. Huh?
Think so? Yeah, is that true?
Yes.
You would? How explain?
Well, I was in South America doing an excursion in the Amazon, and
What happened?
we had to be prepared.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a car.
So we knew we were gonna go through a difficult path, so
Yeah.
that's why we had the villagers accompany us, doing you could say like a inventory on the trees. So it was interesting to hear the roar and just climb up trees.
Oh yeah, that's great. Very interesting.
Geez, I bet you had
Okay.
the brown undies on that one. You had the brown undies on as well?
Yes, everything was around.
All right. Next one. People I work with seem to always get hurt. We're going to need an explanation for this one.
Yes, please.
Do you think, Carson?
Oh, I just seem to work with a lot of idiots. I just have to hit them.
You have to what?
Nothing like a good slap every now and then.
Right. Can we agree that in this room there will be no slapping,
Yes.
no
Well, there's
violence,
no shovels in here.
no violence, no slapping.
What
We'll
about
all
table turning?
maintain a very respectful manner. Are we all good with that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah? Good. Last, not least.
Oh, that narrows it down, doesn't it?
Alright, I personally own 46 different breeds of horse.
I wonder who that is.
Are you a butcher? Yeah. What? Yeah.
Kazakhstan? Here.
Yeah?
Kazakhstan.
Very good. Very interesting. Alright. Well, now that we've gotten to know each other a little better, shall we move on to the close contact?
You ride them?
Yeah?
Yeah, you can.
Alright.
Mortadella.
Okay. Learning objectives for this course. So as you know, your employers have booked you onto this course, alright, to learn a little more about working effectively, sustainably in the construction industry. Alright, so learning objectives for this course. So understand the key principles of workplace health and safety laws and worker responsibilities in maintaining those laws. Learn how to identify hazards and conduct risk assessments, which I imagine you are all doing right now within your industries. All familiar with risk assessment? Risk assessment? So we will touch on that shortly, Jake. But basically, it involves taking your task, so your job, and thinking about what can hurt you. Okay? And thinking about how we can make sure that we do not get hurt or we do not hurt people that are working around us. Okay? Reporting incidents and understanding worker behaviour influences on site. So how we can be influenced by other people's behaviours when we're at work. Okay? Alright, so legislation, regulations and codes. So each state and territory has its own set of laws and regulations. So you all heard of the Workplace Health and Safety Act?
Yes.
You guys probably are not too familiar with the contents of it, but I'm sure you'll have heard it mentioned out there somewhere. Then we also have the regulations. So these are very in-depth documents, alright? And then there is the codes of practice as well. So the codes of practice, it's not, you don't have to follow it, but you have to have a pretty good explanation as to why. So the codes of practice, let's say, I'm given an explanation of how excavation work should be carried out, and we're not following that, we need a pretty good reason as to why we're not following that. Does that make sense? So, legislation, set of laws that govern the way that we work in Australia. Alright? Why do you guys think that it's important that we have laws to abide by? Yeah?
To avoid any injuries or prevent any incidents.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So, well, how do you think this? Let's look outside of health and safety. Could you guys imagine a world with no laws? What would that look like if we had no police, no government legislation.
Great place to work.
But what would it look like to you? Carson, if you could get away with using the old
Shovel in the back
shovel.
of the head, yeah.
Exactly. What would that world look like?
Be peaceful.
One word that comes to my mind is chaos. Yeah?
Different perspectives there.
Yeah. If we were not held accountable for our actions, how would we govern anything? Yeah? So laws are really important to keep us in check, right? So we have guidelines to follow so that we know what we are allowed to do, what we're not
Weed out
allowed
the
to do.
idiots from the industry.
Sorry?
Weed out the idiots from the industry.
Look, we have to respect these laws. They're in place for a reason. I guess that's one way that we can make sure that there are consequences, right, to people's actions if they're not behaviours that would be encouraged in this world that we live in, right? Yeah? So, like I said, regulations, practical implementation of legislation issued by your government agency, and like I said, codes of practice, so a guideline for us to follow, just to make sure that we are adhering to those. Alright, employer requirements and responsibilities. So, as a worker in the construction industry, you will be affected by your employer's goals and objectives. Alright, so their systems and their processes, quality standards and ethical standards. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah? Jake?
Could you explain more?
Yeah, of course. So, employers' requirements and responsibilities. So, let's focus on goals and objectives. So, things like a company's values. So, you work for Renovation 123. So, you could sit and think about Renovation 123's values. So, how do they display their values in the work front? What values do they have as a company that would protect you guys out at work every day? So they may value safety, so your safety. They may value excellence. Yeah? What other values do you think, or what values do you think that your company presents to look out for health and safety in the workplace?
I think the regulations they put or the procedures we have to follow for every type of jobs and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Sure, so procedures, so making sure that those procedures are provided to you, that you can access those procedures, and that you know exactly what it is that you need to be doing. There's another really big one that comes into a company's responsibility, that would be training. So as an employer, they need to make sure that the correct and adequate amount of training is provided to you so that you can go out and perform your work safely, right? Otherwise it would be chaos. We did not have correct training in progress. Does that make sense? Yeah, and like I said, ethical standards as well. So just making sure that we're adhering to respect in the workplace, code of conduct, things like that to make sure that people are being treated fairly in the workplace. So employers have legal requirements to, one, provide a safe place to work, and two, to not discriminate against anyone due to differences. So differences could be, what do you think? What differences may we face within the work front between our work crews? Many different things.
Maybe a different way we resolve problems.
Yeah, for sure.
Working with snowflakes.
Different ways that we respond to problems. So we could have cultural differences, age differences, differences in abilities, things like that, right? So as I say, employers have a legal requirement to make sure that there's no discrimination there when we're considering that. All right? Okay, working safely. So
This is quite fun.
they do?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know.
Who brought the biscuits?
Arson.
Well, she did the laxative ones. Like they do bring tape.
Maybe next time.
Hmm.
Alright, working safely. So everybody has a duty of care to make sure that their workplace is safe. Are you all familiar with duty of care? Yeah? So, duty of care means that we have to take responsibility and accountability for our own actions as well. So, employers' responsibility, yes, to provide a safe and healthy working environment for you guys. So, adequate workplace facilities, provide information, training, instruction, and supervision. You guys,
Can I ask you a question?
yeah, of course.
So with all this,
Mhm.
if I have to work with somebody that gives me the shits, do I have to follow this stuff?
In what way? Do you
Well, I mean, you're saying like you got to look after the people you work with and everything like that. But if you think the guy you're working with is an absolute tool, do I have to follow these procedures, or can I just tell them to piss off and?
Look, we have to maintain a level of respect when we're at work, for sure.
Yeah, but
And I think
It gets to the point though, you say your workmates on social media or just chatting to every single person who walks past you or whatever. You can't go up and smack them anymore
No,
like you
you
could back in
can't.
the old days.
no, you can't, for sure. So,
So, do I have to follow all this, or can I just tell them to piss off and
so I would not
not pointing at
advise.
you?
I would not
Maybe you
advise
though,
that
but I'm not pointing
person.
at you.
If it was me, I would be approaching my employer and reporting to my superior. So if we have any issues with people that we work with, there is a process that we have to follow to make sure that we are doing everything the correct way. So we have issues with people. We do not resort to violence. All right, we don't resort to discrimination of any kind.
So
We
not
go
like
to
the
our
good old days.
superiors. No, not like the good
When you
old
take your
days.
workmates out the back of the lunchroom and punch on
Not
them.
like the good old days.
Get
all
in
right.
trouble.
Employee responsibility. So we as employees must follow the rules that are there to be followed. So workplace health and safety policies and procedures, we must comply with these. We must use PPE supplied by our employers. We must use plant and equipment respectfully. Yes, Jake?
PPE.
PPE, good question. So PPE refers to protective, like personal protective equipment. So that could be your gloves, your glasses, yeah, to protect your eyes. Safety boots. So we all have safety boots to protect our feet and toes. Other forms of PPE. Does anyone have any additional PPE?
Ear protection.
Yeah, hearing protection, protect our hearing from
High-vis.
excessive noise, high visibility clothing, for sure. So knowing the emergency procedure is another really important one as well, but we need to take responsibility for to know our location and to know that we are aware of where we are, so that if there is an emergency, we can report that to emergency services. So reporting incidents and potential hazards. So have you all heard of a hazard card? Hazard card? Yeah, where if we see something that is a hazard that has the potential to hurt us, we might report that on a piece of paper, hand it into our workplace, and they can report that hazard to anyone that needs to action it. All right? So we're contributing to keeping the worksite clean and tidy, and we are taking responsibility for the health and well-being of ourselves, and to make sure that our behaviours don't impact anybody else's health and safety. Okay? All right, workplace hazards and risks. So what is a hazard?
Idiots you work with.
Yeah?
Hazard is something that can harm us.
Yeah, sure. Jake?
Hmm?
Yeah? A hazard? Yeah? So something that can potentially cause impact to us. So something that could hurt us is a hazard. All right? So if you look around this room, there might be some hazards in here. Have a look around. What could hurt you in this room?
Cars.
Yes?
Mm.
Carson? What else? Carson, what else do you think could hurt us in this room? Jake, what do you think?
What, the fridge falling on something?
Yeah, so hot, yeah. So that could definitely hurt us. We have electricity in this room as well.
Probably trip points.
Trip points, yeah. So housekeeping, making sure that we don't have biscuits out of date, perhaps. Yeah, that's right. So what does risk mean? If a hazard is something that has the potential to cause impact or injury, what is the risk?
So the risk is the result of that hazard. What's going to happen to us if we are exposed?
Yeah, so the likelihood of something occurring, right? So a risk can be defined as a measure of the likelihood of harm
So the
arising.
likelihood of me throwing you out the door is you give it a shit.
Exactly. All right, we're gonna do a short activity now, okay? What's his name? Oh. All right.
Have those biscuits.
And don't eat the sugar ones, they're laced. This morning.
Just move around. Let me pull up my.
Oh,
Alright.
horse mate.
So,
Horse mate, how does that cook up?
Good.
Which part of the horse is the best part? Horse's ass? Balls? Testes?
Very good.
Tell me don't choke on them, mate.
It's nice.
okay. We're gonna do an activity. I'll hand these out to you guys. So, excuse me. Nixon. Jake. Brandon. And Carson. Alright, if anybody needs any assistance at all with answering any of these questions, you can work together as well. So maybe a bit of a buddy system here. You two want to work together? You two work together?
I might get wet.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
We'll work
Yeah, I
together.
could see it.
We're in pairs.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so
That's
we'll do a bit of a
me.
buddy system here.
Plug out
Just
the
make
wall.
sure we understand what we're doing. So we're talking about the difference between hazards and risks. Let's see if we
I'll
can
shake you with the electrical cord.
tell the difference.
Potentially,
Potential?
likelihood of that happening. It's probably very high.
Seem to fuck all, but stays only early.
Yeah. Chance of slipping on the wet floor. It's pretty able. Oh damn, it doesn't alternate.
B-A-B-B-B-A-B-A.
Maybe. Slippery floor.
You good? Well done.
Am I doing right?
Let's have a look.
Every second one you circle.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Very good. Very, very good. So I'll leave this with you. So now the next. Okay. That was just an activity anyway. We're not going to be assessed on that, alright? So I'm sure you all passed with flying colours. That is just to get us thinking about the difference between hazards and risks. Alright, so we understand that there's a very clear difference between them. Alright. Show. Alright, so hazard identification, so the process of assessing your work areas and identifying anything that can cause harm. Alright? How can we do this effectively? How can we make sure that we are recognizing hazards in our work areas? What can we do?
Collaboration.
Yeah, collaboration, work together, buddy system.
Take time, take fives.
Yeah, take fives. Jake, take five? Take fives? Have you heard of
No.
that? Have you heard of take five? Do you know what that is? No? I'll explain. So it's a little booklet. It basically, you take 5 minutes before you start your task just to make sure that you understand your task, you understand the things that could harm you, and you put correct controls in place to make sure that we reduce the risk of you getting hurt. Alright? Okay? Cool. Alright, so we stay observant, we think ahead, which if you look at it, take 5 would account for that. We stay informed and we report any hazards or concerns that we have. Alright, now how situationally aware do you think you guys are? Do we think we're all pretty aware? Pretty alert?
Yeah, I think I can control that very well.
Yeah? Cool. Let's watch this video and find out. Hopefully we'll get volume. Let's give it a go. Can everybody see this okay? Well, I do hope the sound is on.
Here's your challenge. How many people in orange shirts get subs? Go. Seven people in orange shirts got
You got
subs.
that? You got that right?
But what else did you see?
Can you turn this
Did you
to
Of
notice
course.
the ice cream truck change to a pizza truck?
Oh, yes.
Did you notice the glasses? What about the man leaving the suspicious package next to the truck? Your next challenge, be aware of your surroundings. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
So that's just a video that was shared by government. So you see how it was getting you to focus in on people in orange shirts. Meanwhile, we missed some other things that were happening that were potentially dangerous in the area. Okay, so it's getting you to think about other hazards that could be in your work area. All right, next one. Alright, we have done this. Alright, so risk assessment. So we all love a risk assessment here. Do we all know what a form of risk assessment would be? What do you guys currently use in your work areas? Within your workplace, how do you risk assess your tasks? Yep.
So in the risk assessment would be how big the damage could be to us if we get exposed to or we
Yeah.
happen to have a hazard.
Yeah, so we are considering what the risk is. So how can we do that? What tool can we use to do a risk assessment? JHA? Do we all know, have we all used the JHA before? Yes? So JHA is a job hazard analysis. So we are looking what hazards are involved in our tasks. And then we go through and we risk assess. Alright, to determine how likely are we to get hurt, how can we control this? Alright? So JHA, we also have SWIMS. SWIMS, so safe working method statement. We also have something called the crawl, which again is another overarching risk assessment. So many ways that we can risk assess our tasks. Take 5 is another form of risk assessment as well. Okay?
Swim.
SWIMS. So nothing to do with swimming. It's to do with
Opposite
safe
of
work.
drowning.
Safe work. Okay? So that's abbreviated to SW. MS.
SWMS.
SWIMS. Okay? Yeah. so you'll have these risk assessments at renovation, so we'll make sure that we get some copies of them so that you guys can make sure that we're familiar with what it is you need to do. Okay? All right. Now
Just read them so that
reporting.
you understand when the shit hits the fan, you know how to sweep it under the carpet, so you don't get caught.
There is poo in my fan.
No. There is no poo anywhere. Right.
Once you get on with it.
Carson,
What?
is it Ben? All right. Reporting hazards and incidents. Are we all familiar with the process of reporting hazards and incidents? All right. So Renovation 123 strives for zero harm in their workplace. Okay. If you think something is unsafe, stop the work. You absolutely have the right to do that. Okay. So all injuries and incidents must be reported. Okay, as soon as practicable. Make sure that's reported to your supervisor. All right, and it's supposed to be reported immediately. Okay, so just make sure if there is anything we see out there, we are making sure to do that. All right. Does anybody have any questions so far? We're going to take a little break, okay, before we move on into our next training session. We'll get a toilet break. So, like we covered earlier, toilets next door. All right, refillable water, everything in here. We'll take a break, take 10 minutes, and then we'll jump back into it.
Time's lunch.
Lunchtime will be, we're not going to be here much longer after our next break, so we'll probably have another 10-minute break after the second session, and then you'll
No
be
lunch.
free to go. You'll be free to go well before lunchtime, Carson, unless you hold us back.
What's your wax over the head and shovel?
Yeah. All right. Break time.
We need to
Okay.
do a whole first.